Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you some of our favorite container garden combinations for 2020. Here are my favorite window box combinations ever. I didn't plant them strategically or, two here, one here. I just used a lot of random textures and heights and threw them together, but I still did place them from tallest, medium to low. And what I absolutely love that makes them completely unique is this beautiful eucalyptus. This is one that we seed started last spring, and we brought it inside the greenhouse in the fall time before we had one of our first frosts. And so I was like, you know what? I needed to pot them up. I wanted them to get larger. So I decided to just throw them into this window box as a random texture and height right popped in the middle, and not even specifically in the middle, off to the edge a little bit. This is such a cool texture off the edge. This is the crane red flowering kale, and this is a cut flower variety, so that's why it gets taller than a lot of the flowering kales that you see that we grow. It just comes off that edge super cool and unique, along with the Margarita potato vine. And this trailing verbena is SUPERBENA, the coral red, along with some Verbena bonariensis coming off the edge over here, which has been one of the biggest hummingbird, butterfly, and bee attractors of the season. And then we have the twist and twirl COLEUS right in the back. I even threw in a few of the snapdragons, which are just starting to come back into blossom. Before it was just filled with all kinds of beautiful flowers on them, but as you can see, they're starting to come back now and get their beautiful little buds. It's not as hot, starting to cool down just a little bit. So I'm really happy that I chose to plant two of these the same, because I really love this combination. I know you've already heard me say that. I would love to copy the same type of look in our window boxes in the front yard next season. I've been really loving the plant wall this year. It feels nice and full and refreshing when we come out here to sit. So I'm just going to share a few of my favorite varieties out of the wall that I know that we will add into here next season. So I'm going to have to say the ROCKIN blue suede shoe salvia is one of my favorites. Not only is it gorgeous with that true blue color, but it also brings in the hummingbirds when we're sitting right here. We can be sitting right on the couch and actually see these hummingbirds flying right above our heads. So that is super cool to see, to be that up close with nature. The other favorite variety of mine in here is this black-eyed Susan. It's tangerine slice appeal. I absolutely love it. And I haven't been controlling it. I've been allowing it to kind of just weave and make its way through other containers, because you can even see it way over here hanging with that beautiful tangerine color. And it's just really adding some beautiful orange, bright, happy color all over the areas. By letting this little black-eyed Susan go, it's adding those pops of color right where it's needed. And the variegated SETCREASEA is definitely on my list there. I also really love the honey trailing petunia, and I love having the umbrella grass. That's the king tut, the very large umbrella grass at the top. It adds that really additional tall extra height to this plant wall, so it's just all of a sudden like everything's uniform, then all of a sudden boosh, you got this beautiful tall umbrella grass. And then along the ends here we have this new potato vine that trails up, it trails down, and this beautiful potato vine variety is called Solar Tower. So gorgeous. Definitely adding this again next year. That beautiful orangish red coleus right here, and right there are the campfire variety, and I feel like that's what really adds a big pop of color along that top row. We also have some citronella in here, and whenever we sit out here we always take a leaf off of the plant, and then we shake it, and that really accentuates the smell a lot more. And you know, we've never actually had the citronella plant be that perfect mosquito repellent, but just having it gives you like that peace of mind, and it just smells amazing because it's so natural citronella of a smell. It's just wonderful. And pretty soon it'll be providing some beautiful little white flowers for us. And of course, peeking through, we've got some of the little Verbena bonariensis. This trailing petunia, I feel like adds so much here. I am really enjoying that pop of color and that little hula hoop of white around it. Just gorgeous. And the birch log succulent container, which we showed in the last succulent video as well. Over here, the banana tree shades this little spot back here where we placed a peace lily in with a trailing coleus, and it just does so well back here, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I've been loving it. And at first the peace lily wasn't doing too well back here. It was getting some browning of the leaves, as you can see. It still kind of remains, but since that banana tree got so large, it really helped shade it. Wow, this banana tree is just taken off amazing this year. Super excited to see what it does this winter. The banana tree planter has definitely become one of my most favorite containers that I've ever done. And I think it's because of the banana tree, because I always do a similar combination on the bottom with like a mixture of coleus and trailing potato vine and other, you know, nice vigorous vines like the iboza. And but usually we put the king tut umbrella grass, like what's there and up there. So this year we did the banana tree because it's in a 3-foot high by 3-foot wide round container. I'll show you here. So it's a nice large container. So that's why I try to choose really vigorous large varieties. And this is a blood banana tree. Here we got the French quarters, coleus, margarita, lime, potato vine, and always watch what potato vine you're getting because some are more compact than others. Some don't get as large like this. We've got the campfire coleus. We have a few different salvias in here to attract the hummingbirds near our sitting space, which definitely works. And then we finish it off in the back with the twist and twirl coleus, which looks amazing. And you can see some of that ALTERNANTHERA right there, the purple night right there, really taken off. So it's looking really, really, really good. Here's an update on the sphagnum moss wall container, the wire container that we did a video on, and the different varieties that we planted in here. And look how beautiful that is coming. It's looking so good. So in this one down here, I do have a morning glory trailing, so it's starting to kind of grow into here. I pulled it away yesterday. I'm gonna get another little trellis and kind of bring it up so it keeps going all the way up. Pretty soon this isn't gonna look like a little white science shed anymore. It's gonna look like a wild, crazy grown-in science shed, which is definitely what I want, because that's what the outdoor science shed should be all about. Can't wait to update you with the kid garden tour, which will be coming soon.
This container was planted in December. This is the container that Sayla and I made together over the winter in the greenhouse. And in here is just some twist and twirl coleus and some portulacas and a few other varieties of coleus, but I just wanted to give that update on how huge this thing is. This container here was just one of those that I created near the end of the planting time, which for me is around, you know, the second week of June. And it's just coming along gorgeously. I love this ROCKIN purple salvia. It's so true purple, combined with this blue Victoria salvia and the Margarita trailing potato vine. We've got the campfire coleus here again, along with some lantana and some purple trailing ALYSSUM. And even shooting out of here, we have some of the snapdragons, which just went out of blossom. But what I love about using the snapdragons in here, we like to use the tall cut flower varieties, because then they fall and they swoop out of containers gorgeously. And that's what this one did just about a week ago, I'd say. So I think I've called every container at least once my favorite, but This one is definitely one of my favorites because of how absolutely unique it is. So we've got the popcorn plant coming right out right there. Look at all of those beautiful yellow flowers, and it smells so amazing like popcorn. This is Lana and Sayla's favorite plant ever. They always say, this plant is making me hungry, because every time they walk by it, you can just smell it. And then there's just like this random thing of corn in the middle. So after a windstorm one day, I had a few little seedlings. This is when they were first planted. I had a few little seedlings that were kind of like tipped over, and I just dug them out and planted them right into the center here. And one kind of tipped over in the storm, which is fine, because look at how cool it looks. It like comes off of the edge, really neat there, right next to that beautiful texture of the popcorn plant. And then there's one right in the center, and it already has some corn forming here. And this is just like an ornamental corn, so you can use it for sifting, but this is the red stalker. And then we have the beautiful dark leaf vertigo grass back here. And we showed how we saved all kinds of these last season, and we used them throughout our containers this season, and that's one of them. We have more coleus. As you can see, I'm obsessed with the campfire coleus. We have some verbena off the back here. But I really need to kind of go ahead and trim off any of the dead flowers. And in these flowers too, there's actually going to be a lot of verbena seed. And right now we actually started doing some seed saving, which we'll share with you as we go along. So as we start noticing flowers dying that need to be clipped, now we're to the point where we're like, okay, let's start saving the seeds from that flower. And that's what we're kind of doing now. Trailing down is the black heart potato vine. It's gorgeous, and it adds that perfect amount of darkness here because it's a lot lighter here. Kind of brings the color of the house over in this area because of that potato vine. And then we have a succulent here, which is funny because I've had this succulent for years, and I'm like, let's just throw it in this container. And there it is in front. We've got more salvia in here, the ROCKIN blue suede shoes. I love adding the salvia, and I added more this year because they draw in so many hummingbirds, and I have to say we have more hummingbirds than ever this year. And look at how huge it is! Now that I'm standing next to it, you can see how big it is. I easily get lost behind it, so I just wanted to show you that. I love my big containers. In our recent front yard container garden video, we shared these window boxes, these flowering ground boxes, these shade containers, and our largest window boxes. I'll be sure to pop the link for that video right here and in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching our container gardening video for 2020. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also click on that bell so you don't miss any of our future videos.